Check out what Michael Dunn had to say about what happened to 17-year-old Jordan Davis.
I said, you're not gonna kill me, you son of a bitch. I don't know if they're singing or what, but it's like, they're saying, kill him. So I put my window down again, and I said, excuse me, are you talking about me?
Michael Dunn shows zero remorse about killing an innocent 17-year-old who had no weapon and no criminal record. He was shot for the sole purpose of playing loud music. This is the tragic story of Jordan Davis, the teen killed for listening to rap music. On November 22nd, 2012, Michael Dunn, 45, and his fiancée, Rhonda Rower, were going to check into their hotel when they decided to stop at a convenience store for a few items. After his son's wedding,
Miss Rower, do you know someone by the name of Michael Dunn?
Yes, I do.
How long have you known Mr. Dunn for?
About 4 years.
Miss Rower, what is your relationship to Mr. Dunn?
He's my fiancé.
the couple had about 3 drinks each at the wedding. It had been a few hours since the last drink, so Michael felt he was good to drive. They left the wedding, headed to their hotel, stopping at Gates gas station for more drinks. They parked next to a red SUV. Michael stayed in the car while Rhonda went inside the store. The driver of the SUV, 18-year-old Tommy Storm, was also inside making a purchase, while 3 other teens waited in the SUV for him. Jordan Davis, Leland Bronson, and Tevin Thompson. But the teens were not waiting in silence. They were singing along with loud rap music, having a good time, like teens often do.
No, could you hear the bass?
Yes.
Now, from inside the car, was anything in the car rattling from the bass?
No.
Did the defendant say anything about the music when he parked the car next to the red car?
Yes.
And what did the defendant say?
Oh, I hate that thug music.
And what was your response to the defendant?
I said, yes, I know.
Rhonda often heard her fiancé say he hates that rap music, but she didn't know that his hatred ran that deep.
I gave him a kiss. I took $20 and I went into the store.
As Rhonda was at the register paying for her items, she heard 3 loud bangs, possibly even more.
Walking to the register, did you hear anything unusual?
Yes.
What did you hear?
I heard pop, pop, pop.
And when you heard those noises, did you know what they were?
No, I didn't.
Did you know where they were coming from?
No, I didn't.
Rhonda runs outside to see Michael standing outside his car door with a gun. He looks at her and tells her to get in the car.
I opened the door and he said, get in the car. And I don't know if I said what or if I said anything or if I just hesitated, and he said, get in the car. But he was, you know, he just had that sound in his voice, you know, of urgency. Yeah. And so I got in the car.
When she got back into the car, she seen Michael putting his gun away in a glove compartment. She asked him, what happened?
What's the conversation like in the car?
Well, I asked him, what happened?
Right.
That's what I said. I said, what happened? And he said, I shot at the car. And I'm like, we're moving at this time.
Right.
And I said, what car? And he said, the one with the music. And I said, why? And he said, because they threatened to kill me.
Michael told Rhonda that the boys threatened him with a shotgun, and he had to defend himself once they tried to advance. But he only said that he fired into the SUV. He didn't say that he hit anyone.
I said, did you hurt anyone? And he said, no, I just shot at the car. And you know, in my head, should I be telling you what I was thinking?
Yeah, I think you've already told us.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, you stupid ass, you know,
Right.
what were you thinking? Why, you know, would you do this? But I could see that he was already upset, and I didn't want to add to that.
Right.
So I kept those thoughts to myself, and I figured I'd just tell him in the morning.
The couple had gotten engaged 6 months prior to the incident, so Rhonda believed what Michael had told her, and the couple went back to their hotel. But Michael was very quiet and intense. She didn't want to start an argument, so she left it alone and went to sleep. When Rhonda woke up the next morning, she turned on the news to see that a 17-year-old by the name of Jordan Davis had been shot and killed at Gate gas station. Michael was arrested later that evening at his home. Jordan, Leland, and Tevin were inside the car when Michael approached them, clearly
Mr.
upset.
Thompson, while the three of you were waiting for Tommy Storms, did the defendant say anything to you or in your direction?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
Turn the music down, I can't hear myself think.
Devin was in the passenger seat, so he turned the music down. He did not want to argue with the man.
And what did you do when he said to turn the music down?
I turned the music down.
When you turned the music down, did either Leland Brunson or Jordan Davis say anything to you?
Yes, sir.
Who spoke?
Jordan,
And what did Jordan Davis say?
turn the music back up.
But Jordan wasn't having it and told Tevin to turn the music back up. He didn't like Michael's attitude and felt they were doing nothing wrong. Around this time, Tommy got back in the car. He was trying to figure out what was going on.
At some point, did Tommy Storms come back to the Durango?
Yes.
When he came back, Tommy Storms, did you see or hear Tommy Storms threaten the driver in any way?
No.
Did you see or hear the driver say anything to Jordan Davis around the time Tommy Storms got back into the car?
Yes.
What was that?
He said, "Are you talking to me?"
And how were you able to see or hear that? Tell the jury.
Tevin had turned the music down as he's saying that.
At what point?
At the point where we was like, "Excuse me, what'd you say?" He said, "Are you talking to me?"
Tevin had turned the music down for a second time, and Leland could hear Michael making threats.
Or
Yes.
what was that?
He said, "Are you talking to me?"
Jordan and Michael had stopped exchanging threats, and Michael could hear Jordan say, "F that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Turn the music back up." A witness then heard Michael say, "No, you would not speak to me that way." Then he reached into his glove box and grabbed his gun and started shooting at Jordan. He fired until the gun was empty.
It was a big silver chrome, either a 9mm or a .45. It was a large caliber pistol.
Anything the driver get from the glove compartment?
A gun.
What did the driver do with the gun when he got it out of the glove compartment?
He cocked it back.
What do you mean by that?
He grabbed his gun. Yeah. Cocked the front part back.
3 bullets hit the back passenger door. A fourth missed as Tommy was trying to drive away from the situation as fast as possible. But Michael had fired 5 more rounds. 2 of the rounds hit the front passenger door. The last 3 hit the rear of the vehicle. Michael had gotten out of his car to fire those last 3 rounds. Tommy drove to the hospital as fast as he could. Jordan had been hit in the legs and chest. They rushed him into surgery where doctors determined that he had been hit in the lungs and heart. Jordan was pronounced dead on arrival. Turns out a bullet hit him in a major artery in his chest. He bled out in under a minute. Michael was arrested the next day. Turns out one of the witnesses at the gas station wrote down his license plate number and gave it to the Jacksonville Police Department.
I don't know how many kids are in that, but the windows are down for the back seat. The windows are up for the front seat. Okay.
Michael would later on start using the word guys or men. He's trying to convince detectives that he didn't know that they were minors.
I don't know if they're singing or what, but it's like they're saying, "Kill him." So I put my window down again, and I said, "Excuse me, are you talking About me?
Michael was trying to make it seem as if his life was in danger. But with all of the many pauses during his explanation, detective felt that he was lying.
And it was like, kill that bitch. And he goes, you're dead, bitch. And he opens his door. And I'm shitting bricks.
Listening to Michael, he's trying to make it seem as if he's the nicest guy ever, who merely asked a bunch of thugs to turn their music down.
And I rolled down my window, and I thought I was polite. I asked them nicely. I didn't demand. I didn't. Or else I said, hey, would you guys mind turning that down? And they shut it off. I was like, thank you. Cordial. Everything's cordial.
Michael stated he was only reacting when in fact he initiated the confrontation. In fact, Michael said he pulled his weapon only after he seen Jordan pull a gun. Michael stated he seen the barrel of a shotgun, but that was just another lie. You see, there were no weapons in the boy's car.
But that's when I reached in my glove box, unholstered my pistol. I mean, I practice this. I'm at the Fort Malabar Rifle and Pistol Range. I'm an avid, gun guy and all that. No military training or anything, but I have friends who are in the military that show me the
proper way.
Yes, and so quicker in a flash, I had a round chambered in it, and I shot.
Yes, you heard him right. This genius was bragging about his shooting skills while trying to explain to detectives why he unalived an unarmed teenager. Not only was he bragging, but showing zero emotion. Let me remind you, this was happening 24 hours after, and he didn't seem affected one bit. Michael was trying to paint himself as a loving partner who was just defending his life and the life of his fiancée, while at the same time trying to paint the boys as thugs. But little does he know, detectives has already interviewed multiple witnesses and Jordan friends who are all painting a different picture.
He wasn't happy about that. He didn't like the fact that some stranger is telling him to turn his music down. He's 17. He's a teenager. Okay, you know what teenagers are. They're a little hard-headed sometimes, especially when they're out on their own. And did he throw some F-bombs at you? Basically tell you to go fuck yourself multiple times? Absolutely. They said, yep, he was jaw-jacking back and forth with that guy. But at no time did any of them say, well, okay, he did say he was going to kill him. Because it makes no sense, because what's he going to do? He's not armed. What's he going to, I'm going to kill you and get out of a car. And we're talking about a kid. You know how many times that kid's been to jail? Never. He has no history of violence, and it's not like we're getting some street thug.
All the thing this kid has is a truancy in school.
We're not talking about a violent kid here. He has no track record.
In court, Michael tried to use the same defense, but couldn't justify why he shot at unarmed teenagers, or why he didn't call the police or go to a station that night.
Did you cry when the news came on that a young boy had been killed?
I don't recall. I know I was very upset.
You took a shower?
That was at 7 in the morning.
And then you left town.
We went back home to Sanctuary to contact law enforcement. Safe harbor, I should say.
Okay, Duval wasn't this a safe harbor?
Again, if you asked me how I would react to a situation like this, I never would have guessed how we did or what we did. So when you're questioning me whether I contacted Duval, it makes sense that I should have. We didn't. I couldn't tell you why.
If you were the one in fear, why would you get out of your vehicle to continue to shoot at the teens? If you are the one in fear, why wouldn't you call the police immediately after the altercation? These are questions that Michael Dunn couldn't answer, and the prosecution destroyed him on the stand. It wasn't hard for the jury to reach a verdict. Michael Dunn was found guilty on 3 counts of second-degree attempted murder and 1 count of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, plus 150 years.